Hi, welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW right here on youtube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. You can subscribe right now and I recommend that you do. Like and share the video as well, and if you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. It's SummerSlam 2016 this Sunday evening and the event is going to be 6 hours long. Oh dear. But anyway, I'm going to preview and predict it for you right now. I'm going to go through all the matches. That's if all the matches have been announced. I'm recording this on the Friday evening, hopefully delivering this to you on the Saturday. From what I'm aware of, that there could still be one or two matches added in there, but the rumours are that I've seen that we still could get a pre-show match of Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. If that was to happen, let's just say Darren Young's going to win it. If it happens to be on the SmackDown team and American Alpha throwing a tag team match, American Alpha will win. So we'll just close that quickly if any of those are thrown into the card at the last minute. But I'm going to go through all the card now for you. There's 11 matches in total, and I'm going to start with what I believe will be the pre-show matches, and then we work our way onto the main card matches. What I'm going to look at then is the best of 7 kickoff between Cesaro and Sheamus, as if we needed another 7 matches of these two. Now, don't get me wrong, the first 2 matches were okay, nothing wrong with them, but I don't think I want to see it another 7 times, particularly when Cesaro won both of the matches as well. It kind of, the dominance is already there. Cesaro wins again, he's kind of technically 3-0 up already. I mean, what is the point of this? It doesn't really make sense to me. And the thing is as well, there needs to be an aim at the end of it. I mean, there's no point these guys just fighting and not get anything at the end of it. I mean, probably the best they're going to hope for is a United States Championship match, isn't it, for these two guys where they're currently positioned in the card. Rumour has it that Cesaro could have ended up on SmackDown potentially eventually with all this current storyline thing going on with him. Let's see if that does develop. But looking for SummerSlam, and that's where we're focusing right now, is that it doesn't really matter which way it goes because ultimately it's going to finish 4-3 to someone at the end of it. I imagine that perhaps Cesaro could win at the end of the 7 at the moment, but let's just say for the purpose of this video, I'm going to make a prediction right now who will win the first match. I think it's going to be Sheamus, because if Sheamus doesn't win the first match, he's technically already 3-0 down and it will look really bad on him. So I'm first going to go with Sheamus. The next match that we're going to look at is the multi-women's match then from the SmackDown brand on the pre-show, or potentially the pre-show. That's right, it is Becky Lynch, Carmella and Naomi will be taking on what would have been Eva Marie, but definitely will be Alexa Bliss and Natalya. Now, looking on WWE.com, of course, you will be aware that Eva Marie is now suspended, therefore she is not going to be in the match. Her suspension started on Thursday, so she is out for 30 days, so she will not be taking part in SummerSlam. Now, what I have seen since, and this is going to be my bold prediction, is that apparently it's going to be 3-on-2 unless Natalya and Alexa Bliss can find a partner to partner them. So for the second pay-per-view in a row, we're going to have a mystery partner by the look of it, and there's only going to be one outcome in my opinion. She's been cleared to return to the ring after being back in the Performance Center. I'm expecting Nikki Bella to be coming back and partnering Natalya and Alexa Bliss at this SummerSlam event, potentially on the main card, but I'm assuming at the moment that if 1 or 2 matches need to go on the pre-show, that this match potentially would be one to go on the pre-show. So I am open to being wrong on that, but I'm giving my prediction anyway. If Nikki Bella does come back, I expect then that she will be seen as definitely creditable for definitely going for the Women's Championship when they introduce one onto the SmackDown brand after SummerSlam, as potentially at the moment it's predicted that there will be a Women's Championship and Tag Team Championships given to the SmackDown brand. If that's the case, then I think Nikki Bella would definitely be in the strong point to definitely win that belt at the start, or certainly her and perhaps Becky Lynch will be in the final if there is a tournament of some sorts to decide it. Looking at it, because Eva Marie probably now is not going to have the same push, certainly with immediate effect coming back. It'd be interesting to see how she is actually used in WWE when she comes back. But yeah, anyway, she's not going to be there, and we're focusing on SummerSlam, and I think Nikki Bella will be a partner, so it'll be 3-on-3, and I think that Nikki Bella, Natalya and Alexa Bliss will pick up the victory. Next then, we look to the Intercontinental title match, which will be The Miz versus Apollo Crews. Personally, for me, the Intercontinental title needs saving. It's gone to SmackDown and it hasn't really gone to plan, let's be brutally honest here. It wouldn't surprise me here for a new era standpoint if Apollo Crews was to pick up the victory. I actually think that would make probably sense going forward as they're really trying to push this new era thing, and maybe it would be a good start for the Intercontinental title. I've heard a rumour that The Miz is going to be going back towards the main event scene. Potentially a feud with Dean Ambrose could be in the future, although personally for me, I'm not so sure if that still will be the plans on the table, but I think a change of the guard is definitely needed for the IC belt, whether it's Apollo Crews or somebody else. For me personally, I would normally and would like to see The Miz win the match, but I do actually feel that Apollo Crews here will walk away with the Intercontinental title. I do kind of think that this is perhaps one of the more unpredictable matches of SummerSlam. Not saying it's necessarily one of the most exciting matches on the Summer card either. I do feel it's kind of a bit soon for Apollo Crews really to be put in this position. Although I did like to see the fact he was getting an opportunity. But I think looking from a booking standpoint, this new era seems to be where WWE is pushing towards, and if SmackDown wants to keep up with Raw on pushing things of the new era, then they definitely have to be putting people that are not in a position into position. So I'm going to go for Apollo Crews. Next, we'll be looking at the Tag Team Championship match. Will be The New Day versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Have you ever suffered from ring postitis? I certainly haven't, but I imagine it's got to be quite painful for Big E, but he's not been on Raw for the last couple of weeks. It seems that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods will be flying the flag of power of positivity for the New Day this Sunday. Will Big E be there? I imagine he would be. It's arguably, the second or third biggest pay-per-view of the year. It's certainly the biggest pay-per-view after WrestleMania, and certainly going to be the biggest pay-per-view till the Royal Rumble, so it would be hard to see Big E not involved in some way or form. For me, even if it's just a spectator on the outside, for me though, looking at this now, I think that this is perfectly built for Gallows and Anderson to win the championships. I think they need it more than, since coming in, they've been booked kind of indifferently, but certainly in recent times they've been booked a lot better, and this would then solidify their place on the card, and they definitely would walk away with credibility. The New Day have had their time with those title belts now. They need to change, and I think the New Day don't need the belts for the time being. They've built such a stature now that I think it should be boring if they kept the belts for a lot longer. Certainly we'll be getting a rematch perhaps at Night of Champions. That's kind of fine with me, but for me personally, I think the belts need to change. I think this is the perfect opportunity to do it, and it's the right tag team as well. So for me, put the belts on to Gallows and Anderson. Next, then we'll look at United States Championship match, which will be Rusev versus Roman Reigns. We did just see this match on Monday Night Raw just 6 days ago, if you're looking at this from some standpoint of view, and Rusev was defending Lana's honour. He didn't do it very well. He did lose to Roman Reigns on the particular match. Do we care now? Personally, for me, I think though we're going to get a bit of a different outlook on SummerSlam. It would be stupid for them to do the same thing over again because we've just seen that on Raw this past week. So that means for me we're going to get two results. Either Roman Reigns is going to surprisingly, in my eyes, lose this match, or Roman Reigns is going to win and this is going to carry over to Night of Champions, or Clash of the Champions, as I should actually be saying. It's Clash of the Champions, not Night of Champions this year. So looking at it from my point of view, I think that Roman Reigns is going to win the match, but I don't think he's going to win the belt. So I'm expecting this is going to be one of the false finishes of the evening. So I'm expecting this to be either a count out or a DQ. I am going to go with one or the other. It's going to be one or the other. I'm going to stick with it will be one or the other. There's no point picking out one when it could, in theory, be the other one. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Roman Reigns victory anyway. But personally, for me, this is going to be a bit of a waste of time. Unfortunately, they should have saved this match for SummerSlam, in my personal opinion. But that's just me anyway. Next, we'll be looking at Enzo Amore and Big Cass against Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Now, these four have been fantastic on the mic on the build-up to this match. Certainly for me, it's kind of got this old Ruthless Aggression feel about it. It kind of feels like when they kind of threw teams together that were just kind of cool at the time, back sort of 10, 13 years ago, however long ago it was. We see the likes of like Booker T and Goldust, those sort of weird combinations going together. But really, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, it fits together because these guys are fantastic on the mic. They're both Canadian, and for me, it just works. It doesn't work on a long term, but it certainly works on a short term. And of course, really, I mean, if the New Day were to win against Gallows and Anderson. Then these two actually could propel themselves to be actually contenders for the belts if they won this match. I do kind of think at the moment they're still going to keep Enzo and Mauro because away from the tag team title scene. I really hope they don't split them up before they actually have an opportunity at the belts. But for me right now, I think that the clever move to do for this would actually be give the heels the victory. So I'm going to go for a Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho victory. Yeah, that's right, I'm going to go for it all out there for you. Next then, we're going to look at John Cena versus AJ Styles. This was a very good end to SmackDown this week. We see John Cena do the 8-8 to AJ Styles through the announcers table from the steel steps. Certainly was fantastic. Now, rumours have it that John Cena is not going to be involved with WWE after, on television-wise, anyway, after SummerSlam. For me, kind of already makes it kind of obvious how this result should go then, because if we're going to do this cleverly, AJ Styles should pick up the victory. Looking at the way things went on SmackDown last week, it kind of teased the idea we could have Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton in the feud going forward. So the logical feud going forward after that would be AJ Styles going for the WWE World Championship. So for me, I think that this is a perfect platform, and finally we're going to see AJ Styles come out on top on one of these feuds that we've seen on pay-per-view, and I think it's going to be the right decision going forward, because AJ Styles has been fantastic in WWE this year, and I think that he certainly deserves his position at the top of the card, whether it's a SmackDown pay-per-view or whether he actually goes into one of the big four pay-per-views as a champion. But whether he becomes a champion yet remains to be seen, but I think he will be a challenger, and I think he's going to beat John Cena to become a challenger. So that's my preview and prediction for this match on Sunday. We could go through the history of it, but I'm sure you guys know the history by now. It's been going on for months, and certainly this needs to be the final match between these two this Sunday at SummerSlam. Looking next then, the Women's Championship match, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. Dana Brooke will be barred from ringside. Of course, she lost the match, which meant she won't be at ringside. So Charlotte has to do this on her own. Now, we have seen this match again already. This was given on the first Raw of the brand split, where Sasha Banks won the championship. This is kind of now the rematch. This now should really close out Charlotte from actually having a championship match going forward in the future. But at the moment, is Nia Jax ready? Because they've not put her against the main competitors yet. So I'm not sure what's going to happen just yet, but I do predict Sasha Banks will win the match here. She is going to be the women's champion still going out of SummerSlam. Whether they find a one way to have a third and final match at Clash of Champions, time will tell. But for now, I'm definitely going to go with a Sasha Banks victory. Going to follow this up with a Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE World Championship. Right, well, if you believe rumours, Dean Ambrose is in the doghouse in WWE. After his podcast, and I've said this before, I will say it again, these podcasts, unless you're Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Stephanie, Triple H, John Cena probably, or one of the real legends, you go on these podcasts, you open your mouth, there's a chance you are going to get in trouble. I said it with Paige a year ago when she was on there. It didn't do her any favours, and I said that I thought she could go downhill from it. She has. Unfortunately, it didn't do Dean Ambrose much favours looking at that podcast back either. I thought it was a good listen, but unfortunately for me, this is not the sort of thing you want to put out on the WWE Network. And particularly, apparently, the only thing that they really had a critical point with was him saying his critiques on Brock Lesnar. He said that Brock Lesnar did not want to do the ideas that he had in mind to make the match good at WrestleMania. Basically, was the reason why the match was rubbish. Which has got him in the doghouse. He makes Triple H and Vince McMahon look weak as well, not being able to make Brock do what they want him to do. So that's probably why they are not happy with him. Rumour has it that maybe they might make Ambrose drop the belt. Is it against Dolph Ziggler? No. The rumour I had heard that Dolph Ziggler was meant to be a filler in this situation. Well, Dolph Ziggler's done a very good job of building this match. It's been a very interesting feud to see on SmackDown, actually. SmackDown have done very well with their storylines. This could link into Bray Wyatt in some way, but I think Bray Wyatt is going to be linked in with Randy Orton going forward. But Bray Wyatt has been linked in the storyline with these two going all the way up to SummerSlam. It seems, though, that these two will probably lock heads at SummerSlam, and I think that Dean Ambrose is still going to pick up the victory here. So I'm going to lay myself out there. I think from there we're going to see not the end of Dolph Ziggler's push. I'm going to see him evolve in his character further, and I think that will be more interesting going forward rather than him win the belt. I'm sure a few people might disagree with that, but actually I think he could turn into more like a Christian character and turn more into a heel, and certainly would be very interesting going forward. So that's my prediction for that. I think Dean Ambrose is going to hold the belt, and I actually think he'll be having a feud with AJ Styles going forward into the next couple of months in WWE, which I'm pretty looking forward to, and I'm pretty sure many people would be excited to see that match as well. Let's look at Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. Are we going to Suplex City, or are we going all the way to Viperville? Seems to be very early to have a Raw versus SmackDown match, but of course this was made before the WWE draft. It's what's seen as for the first time in 15 years, although we have seen it on an episode of SmackDown when they both first started out. But of course Brock Lesnar came in as the Beast from the beginning. Randy Orton really built his way up over 2 or 3 years in the company before seen as a main creditable threat. This should be a good match. I think it's going to surprise many. I do think we're going to get a lot of suplexes like normal for Suplex City, but at the same time, I think Orton is going to add his own element to the match, and I think that there could be a little bit of back and forth. I think for a lot of people, they're a little bit on the fence of where they think this match is going to finish and end up. For me, despite the fact of everything that's been going controversially around Brock Lesnar, I'm expecting him to pick up the victory at SummerSlam. I think that he will be rumoured to be a challenger for the WWE Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble event. That's when he's expected back next. So for me, it would make perfect sense if he was to actually win the match this way. Rumour has it as well that maybe that Randy Orton could be facing Bray Wyatt in the future. So maybe, just maybe, we might see Bray Wyatt make his appearance at SummerSlam, maybe after the match to attack Randy Orton. I can't see it during because it would perhaps spoil the match, but maybe there could be some sort of attack after the match. So that will be my prediction for Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. I'm expecting Orton to be going to Suplex City, but still expecting an RKO to be hit out of nowhere, but I reckon Brock will kick out. Last but certainly not least, then, we're going to talk about the Universal Championship, the first ever Universal Champion. Will it be Finn Balor, the Demon King, or will it be Seth Rollins? That's right, the Demon King. Did anyone else think it was Demon Kane? We were hearing that on Raw from Rollins all the time. I certainly did. But looking at this match, this is going to be the most interesting match of the card. It's certainly unpredictable in my eyes. Looking at it, I have ideas of where I'd like it to go. I don't think it's going to go there this soon. I'll say my thoughts on the preview first off. I think we got the Demon too early. I don't think the Demon needed to come out at all for SummerSlam personally. I know it's a big deal in WWE's eyes and to introduce it to the casual fans, but it needed meaning behind it. And for me, this with Rollins, it hasn't got the meaning behind it. It's not personal. Why does Finn need to go to that other place to win? Can he not do it naturally? Does he really need that Demon character to feel he can win? Or is it because a heel turn is coming on? I think it's too soon for that. But one thing that was suggested for my good friend James, which I would love to see happen, I think it's a perfect thing to do with these two in the ring, is not to have a heel turn or a face turn, it's to have a double turn. Because now Roman Reigns is out of the picture, everyone wants Seth Rollins to be a face, let's be honest. Of course, he's a very great heel, but you know what? We're all cheering for Rollins. We want Rollins to do well, and you know what? It's time, in my eyes, that Rollins is the good guy and not the bad guy. We've seen this bad guy, Rollins, for a long time. It's time to put him as the good guy. On the other hand, the Demon King, well, if he's a demon, maybe it works for the heel, and certainly as well, the club, the Balor Club. It needs to start somewhere. Why not a SummerSlam? And what a big indication of going forward as well for this new era once again, which I keep talking about, the new era. If we see the likes of AJ Styles beating John Cena, if we see Apollo Crews beat The Miz, why not see Finn Balor get a victory over Seth Rollins? Because I tell you what, that will be brand new TV, a brand new champion's just come in. Everyone will be like, whoa, we need to see more, what's going to happen with this, and it will give you a reason to tune in on Monday Night Raw. Not saying that if Rollins wins that we won't be doing that as well, because Rollins is definitely more than, you know, creditable to hold the belt, but Rollins was put in this position. He was put there. Finn's had to earn to get there. It just seems to me that it would just be an awesome thing for a booking standpoint if actually Finn Balor was to win this match. At the same time, though, I kind of feel that maybe it might be a bit too soon and they don't want to do the mistakes of what they've done with other people before, and then people get too big for their boots and then it kind of all goes pear-shaped somewhere. So maybe it might be seen as too soon and maybe Rollins is going to pick up the victory here. I don't think the double turn is going to happen, but I would love to see it happen. Certainly think that it should be teased because, of course, the club can do, the Balor Club can form at any pay-per-view, but I certainly think that this would be good. Maybe, though, I think it's too soon. I think maybe Night of Champions, and maybe, just maybe, the best thing to do would have Rollins win this particular match. Have it then, not Night of Champions, which I keep saying it should be Clash of the Champions that will be happening at. Have the rematch there, and then make the Balor Club happen. That would be a perfect way to do it if I was booking it myself. But let me know in your feelings in the comments below. And that's been my SummerSlam 2016 predictions. We've got there in the end. It's going to be 6 hours long. I can promise you by the last 3 matches, I'm not going to care what's going to happen. It's too long. The event should be a lot shorter. I was just about okay with it being 4 hours long. I think any longer it's just a bit overkill, because as well as this, I mean, we've got Brooklyn NXT, then we've got SummerSlam, we've got Raw, we've got SmackDown, then we've got NXT. It's far too many hours of WWE wrestling and programming to keep up with. So I'm going to do my best to keep up with it for you, but I can't promise that you'll have everything up to date on this channel over the next few days, because there's a lot of wrestling to cover. But I will be covering SummerSlam on Monday. I'll probably be looking at that, and then probably will throw an overall review rather than breaking things down match by match. Just give you my main talking points, if there are any talking points from the card, and saying whether I like it or whether I don't. So that's probably what you can expect from me on this channel on Monday. Probably I'm probably looking UK time, early evening. If you're American, probably looking in the afternoon, probably somewhere along there. But thank you for checking the video anyway. It does mean a lot of you guys do check this out and see my feelings. Let me know your feelings in the comments below. I really would like to see your and hear your predictions as well. If you guys have made videos out there as well, then please, you know, feel free to tell me to check out your channel. I'll happily check it out. And yeah, leave any comments in the comment section, like and share the video, and most importantly, please subscribe. And yeah, thank you for checking this out. You've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling right here on youtube.com. Take care and enjoy SummerSlam.